What is up, guys? Sim here, and I've got a few more replays for the chain beat deck, my chain beat deck. Last one took a while with the zombies because it was a very drawn out battle. This one, there's a good few quick ones. A couple versus Gearkuri, the slated very good deck for the new format, just because it has very good capability against a lot of other things. But I very easily play them out. He gets to go first on this one, draws an MST, sets the Sizen, and then sets an MST and a Mirror Force. So we play into Mermello, setting all of our holes, literally all 4 of the ones I run, attacking to the Sizen, taking a little bit of damage. Only damage of the game if I recall, and that's it. So we have a pretty good back row to play through most things. He goes ahead and MSTs the Nightmare. Kind of sad. I do like Nightmare, but... Alright, and then he sets in Armor. The usual play. Gearkuri's are kind of interesting in the fact that they will... they play kind of defensively, and then they can explode very well. Armor is so good at being able to generate advantage turn per turn. So he flips the Armor, activate Trap Hole. He does get the 1 to add, but I didn't want it to happen every turn again. So, he switches into Arsenal, if I remember. Sacrifices his Arsenal to get another Armor, and then I compulse it, just to get it out of the way. I've played against enough Gearkuri's, and I know what they need. They need that Armor. Armor generates way too much advantage. So we play Tenki, search Rabbit, go into Rabbit, and then I keep getting this damage in. Him keeping that Sizen on the field hurts him too much. So at this point, it's like 1,000 damage per turn for free. Draws into Call the Hunted, sets the other Armor, and then ends right there. We got a 2 Void Chapel. We got the 2 Void Chapels and Bottomless. And then just card, drawing into Duality and Call the Hunted. And Torrential. So he gets the other Armor. Sets that one, flips it. And I actually never saw this Fossil Dyna. Sets an interesting one. So he gets 2 adds off the Armor. I think he decides to go off. So he goes in the Arsenal. Attacks another Rabbit, which I just bounce. Attacks over the Mellow, 300 damage. Not bad. And then attacks into... Sadly, he actually only lost that one. With the Armor, he attacks into a Fossil, and it takes a little bit of damage. It flips and destroys the Armor. So, Fossil, again, star player in most decks. We Duality into, I think, Thunderbird, if I can recall correctly. Yep. Just to get, this deck has a very small monster count. So, drawing into whatever monsters I can is definitely a benefit. So again, we attack into the Sizen, getting an extra, or a free 1,050 damage. He flips the Armor, getting the plus, and then just goes into battle phase, sadly, and activate Mirror Force, destroying all of his monsters. He goes into Dark Hole, mainly, I'm pretty sure he knew, mainly just to clear off that Fossil Dyna, because it does hurt. It kind of slowed him down. So he goes into Gearkuri, MK2, searches Arsenal, and then ends right there. Excuse me. So, on standby phase, I get these 2 back, and then I summon the other Rabbit. Battle phase, I attack into a Mirror Force, which pretty much neg ones him. We got another beautiful thing about this deck is just the ability to maintain advantage, make your opponent go neg on stuff like Mirror Force and such. So, we just get the Thunderbird back on that main phase, or on that standby. He MSCs the Void Chapel. Still have the Bottomless from the beginning of the game. And then he summons the Gearkuri, searching an Arsenal again, and I just Torrential at that point, chaining Thunderbird, of course, and then he ends there. again, best thing about this deck, and I'll say it all the time, maintaining advantage, making your opponent go neg. He used up his normal summon at that point, and he had 4 monsters on the field, so free destruction. Such plus, so win. Wow. So that's still game 1 against Gearkuri. We actually also have another game, a different person, but just game 2 versus Gearkuri. He draws actually a very standard Gearkuri hand. So I duality into Rabbit at this point, if I recall, because I didn't have a monster in hand and I kind of wanted to. And then we summon Rabbit, activate Garden, set 3 and end. Pretty good wombo combo here. Answers for everything along with Garden, so it's really good. He just sets the armor there and ends. Draw into Void Trapple. Attack into the armor. He gets to search off, sadly. And I just set the other Void Trapple there. He goes into Gear at the end phase, getting his 2 level 4 Gearkuri. And I get my Rose tokens. I think I mentioned it in the last video, maybe, but I have dropped the count of Black Gardens. It's not the cornerstone of my strategy anymore. But whenever I can play it, it helps so much. I've dropped it down to 2 gardens and 1 terraforming, which are very easy sided out for MSTs when I need. But again, it's really nice when I can have it. It's not necessary anymore though. So on the Gearkuri summon, I Void Trapple it, and then on the activation of the effect for armor to flip face down, I just escape device it back to the deck. On the summon of Arsenal, I Bottomless. So again, he's exhausted all his places for the turn, and he ends. Draw into another escape device. Still have Mirror Force set, so we attack it through with both Rose tokens. And the Rabbit for a total of 3,000 damage. So, not half bad. I've had a lot of games again with Garden where I do a majority of my damage with tokens, which is kind of sad, but they're good. Being able to clear the opponent's field off is pretty dang good. So, again, he summons the Gearkuri and Mark II, and with his effects, which is that one. Goes into mains. This is actually a very interesting battle because we were very vocal. So on that 1 mains, I just escape device it, just getting that free token back, and he ends right there. Pretty salty. It's kind of fun when people have to play defensively against a bunch of tokens. So attack through with all of the tokens and Rabbit for a total of, excuse me for the math right here, 3,800 damage. He's left at 400. Sadly, I can't make a cowboy. But this is the fun part. So he goes for the Mark II again, searching the regular Gearkuri. Or no, another Mark II. And then goes into Accelerator, and Birdman to bounce Accelerator, and gets Accelerated back. So he goes into mains, goes into Black Rose. And at this point I was like, dude, just Black Rose me. This will be so much fun. I've got plays for days. So yes, he goes into Black Rose, clears the field. I bounce Rabbit, because lol. And yeah, again, he clears the field. He has to pop a material from Zen Mains, and I'm like, okay, dude, totally. Whatever you do, whatever you set, or otherwise, you have to pop your own mains and exhaust the material. So he had to go minus no matter what. So I get the Rabbit back, go into Dark Hole, and he realized at that point, if I had a monster in hand, he kind of lost. He had Trap Stun set. I was going to kill the mains, and luckily I did draw into a monster set to secure the game. So, yeah, 500 damage to that game. Pretty damn good. And I think that was just from attacking defense, or some of his defense position monsters. So, one more game, not versus Gears, but this shows the versatility of the deck. This is versus Exodia. And what I love about this is that it, again, shows that this isn't only good against meta decks. A lot of the stuff I use can also hurt these kind of decks. And it shows kind of the fun things you can do with rabbits, mainly targeted, or mainly against like scarecrows and faders. So we summon a Murmello, searching Bottomless, because I didn't know what I was playing against at this point, because he just card cards at 2. We also have Escape Device and Reforce. So he dualities, do another card, and I'm like, and I see the Accumulate Fortune. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is an Exodia deck. So he card cards again, Escape Device it, because I didn't want the effect to go off. So Escape Device, bouncing Murmello, and the card, so we didn't get that. And he has to do Reckless Greed. He MSTs, popping in Reforce, so I'm like, okay, no problem. I don't know, not to hype myself up, but it's kind of like with a deck like this and the right player, if you know what you're playing against, you can adjust what you're doing to be able to play against it effectively without really changing the deck. Against something like this, I don't really have any sides, but I can still effectively win. So he hoped for escapes, drawing into duality and Upstart Goblin. I don't know, his deck could have been changed a little bit. I get the idea of Backup Soldier, mainly, maybe not in the main deck, but one of my favorite Exodia decks is the Hope for Exodia. It's Hope for Escape. It's like it uses a chain lineup with Accumulated Fortune, Jars of Greed, etc. Hope for Escape, gift card, and you get so much draw power. I've been able to like just draw like 14 cards in a turn off of it. It's so amazing. But current duel, I don't know. He just wasn't getting that much advantage, and he didn't have the power. So on this, he faders the bear, and I just pop it. I don't want the monster on the field, regardless. Mainly because I didn't have anything else to pop with bear. So he Odops, drawing into gift card. He has double gift card right now. And drawn into a Dark Hole. Here's the fun part, and I've actually faced a lot of Exodia decks in my day, with this especially. Exodias, anything with faders, scarecrows, etc. Mainly faders. Fossil Dine is amazing. Here's another, again, versatility, beautifulness, and I actually, this is the first time I've been able to showcase it, at least in this, talking about Diamond Dyer. Diamond Dyer in this deck is so much fun. Because Diamond Dyer can target your Wind-Up Rabbit with his effect in your opponent's card, and then you can chain Rabbit's effect, so you get a free pop. In any other deck, Diamond Dyer is technically a minus. It can, you invest 2 monsters to make him, and you have to pop one of your cards to pop another card. With Wind-Up Rabbit, it's a free plus, and it's so good. I mean, technically, you're investing 2 cards to summon a card to pop 1 card, so it is technically a -1. But, so here's the fun. I think this is when I finish him off. I have Fossil on the field, so I can't fade her. Fun thing with these, and a ruling on Swift Scarecrow. If it does not negate the attack, it does not end the battle phase. So when Scarecrow is discarded, I get to chain the effect. It does not negate the attack, so I can attack straight through. With Fossil Down in the field, he can't summon Fader, and he can't end the battle phase. And goodbye, Exodia. So, I think I forgot to do this right, so I will be right back. Because this won't give me the deck profile. Or no, I'm not doing a deck profile on this. It'll actually be in the next video, because this is running a little long. So again, as usual, thanks to Yugicast.com for the sponsorship. Go and check them out. Really good app. I use it all the time. And feel free to like, comment, subscribe, follow. Everything is down in the description. And as always, this has been Sim of the Yugicast. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.